Okay. So even though sorry, I think I've lost oops. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah. So even though if there is no one that comes in, this one will still be on the cloud. So
Yeah,
we'll put it onto YouTube.
yeah,
So that but I'll cut this section out. So go to YouTube and we'll have your brand, our brand, and it'll come into Joko, do some magic to the front of the webinar
yeah.
and make it happen. Hey.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah. Well, I've done a little presentation when it comes to just each thermal imager and just running people through it and what to look for and some of the notes there. So yeah, it should be fun.
So I'm just going to do a quick note for you. So you've been in the industry for, so
Oh,
not a quick note, just a quick presentation. So Gary Shaw, general manager or
second manager. Yeah,
general manager of Major Tech.
correct.
Major Tech, which is a South
Company,
African
an Australian company, really. Yeah.
so a South African company, been in Australia for more than 4 or 5 years now. Hey,
Officially 5 years, but unofficially 25 years.
yeah, uh, okay, 25 years. So why don't we just say that? 25 years. Uh,
Started.
is a full you're a full online electrical
It's all your test instruments and tools. Yeah,
thank you, test instrument tools,
test instruments and
test instrument and tools. Gary is a electrical engineer by trade in his past life.
marine.
Marine. Ooh,
Marine.
Marine in his past life. Falling in the path of electrical engineer. Did you work as electrical engineer in the Marines, or is that a different life? Like
Worked as a marine engineer. So you
Marine
cover,
engineer.
yeah, marine. You do everything from diesel mechanic to electrical to HVAC to
Yeah,
plumbing to everything. You sink or
yeah,
swim.
cool. So today we'll talk about the thermal imaging,
Yeah, thermal
uh,
images that we've got and
images
what to look out for,
and what to look out for.
applications. Yeah,
Right. So and then you can talk about thermal imaging. So,
yeah.
so okay, so far good.
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
we're having Melbourne weather up here in Brisbane. It's cloudy and raining all the time.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that it was going to be you're having a big storm also, hey.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it feels cold. We're still at 25 degrees, but it's cold.
Crazy, crazy, hey.
Yeah.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. Do you want to start now? Hey.
Yeah, it can start.
Okay, we'll wait. I'll start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a BULCS webinar. Today we have Gary Shaw, General Manager of Major Tech, a South African company that has been in Australia for more than 25 years. Gary's come from a marine background, who is an electrical engineer and such. So he knows a lot about what Major Tool does is test instrument and tools. But today our focus is going to be thermal imaging and what to look out for. Thank you so much, Gary, for jumping in.
Thanks, Ivy. Much appreciated. So yeah, well, Matrix been around since 1992. We specialize in test instruments and tools, as Ivy's just pointed out there. And we do from environmental meters to thermal images to your bare basics from domestic to mining and industrial when it comes to your multimeters, clamp meters, installation testers, and so on. So more of your handheld instrumentation there. And it covers from industries from your restoration industries to your HVAC, electrical industries, plumbing, and sometimes even carpentry. We've
Wow.
been doing thermal imaging for nearly 20 years now and improving every year. Obviously, with technology growing every year, with new sensors, with new lenses, with new technology when it comes to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth devices, you try to keep ahead of the game. And in our range, we've got 12 thermal images in our range, and it goes from entry level to high level. Depends on what you'd like to do with it. So that's the biggest question when it comes to thermal images. It depends on what's your application, because from H6 side, it's great selling the top of the range, but if you don't need the top of the range thermal imager, we're not going to sell it to you. There's no point. We would rather have application based thermal images that you need, not just the highly priced ones. So my biggest 5 points when looking at thermal images is the main five. It comes to your resolution and sensitivity. So your resolution is how many pixels it has. So it refers to the number of thermal detectors the camera sensor has. So imagine on a piece of paper, you've got 5 points on a piece of paper. When it comes to you want to pinpoint what that temperature is on the top left-hand corner of that piece of paper, the closest dot on that screen will be that reference point to the temperature. So if it's only a 160 by 120, which has only got 49,000 points on there, it will give the closest one, but the gap between those 49 points is massive. And that's why when it comes to your resolution, where you've got your top of the range ones here of 384 by 288, you've got about 110,000 points just on an image where you can click. So your accuracy is also higher there. When it comes to higher resolution cameras, they're able to create and capture greater detail, identifying fine issues like hairline cracks or minor leaks. On the other hand, the thermal sensitivity refers to the smaller temperature differences a camera can detect. This is useful for identifying problems that produce minimal thermal differences, such as early stages of moisture and intrusion. So there's the two where you got to focus on, where you might have great resolution, but the sensitivity is poor. So you've got to toss up between the two. And I'll get to now with the inspection environment is a second point that we've got. It considers the typical environments where you'll be using the thermal imager. So for indoor inspections, a camera with fine-tuned sensitivity might be more important for you. Because when you're checking for moisture leaks indoors, you can actually see a greater temperature difference, which identifies it easier. Whereas outdoor inspections might have better for higher resolution, so you got your image quality, and you're not looking for those finer differences of 0.5 of a degree or 1 degree difference in temperatures there. And when it comes to, I've lost you there. When it comes to your infrared performances, your infrared performance or imaging capabilities determine how a thermal camera captures and processes the infrared radiation. As you can see from the spectral resolution, the lower it is, the better the camera. And the accuracy of temperature measurements and the clarity of a picture under varying conditions is. But these are crucial in inspections, such as pinpointing overheated components in electrical systems or assessing thermal performance in different materials. Then when it comes to your fourth, we've got the biggest one and the biggest question when it comes to thermal images is how easy is it when it comes to the thermal imaging software. So we've got cameras that have just PC software. A lot is in the Defense Force when it comes to just PC because you can't transmit any data. So you're not allowed to have your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on sites there. So that's where you've got ones for PC software. Then we've got the Bluetooth, which is your more used in our entry level. That you can have it not live recording as real time, but you can send from your meter or your thermal imager to your phone or your computer via Bluetooth. And then when it comes to your higher spec, you've got your Wi-Fi enabled thermal images, which gives you real-time view while you at site. So you can have it on your phone looking at the thermal imager, and you can have up to 5-10 people on the thermal imager. So if it is sometimes a hazardous or dangerous area, you can have one person with the thermal imager, and outside of that area, up to 30 meters away, you can have everyone capturing pictures and having a look at what you're actually viewing. So that's why the Wi-Fi enabled devices are better for those kind of transfers, as well as due to Wi-Fi, they have faster speeds when it comes to downloading higher or bigger and larger images and videos. So you've got quicker speeds there. And then when it comes to software, from software side, Major Tech, we have and have always had the belief of free when it comes to it. If you buy the meter, you should be able to just get the software. We don't believe in giving you a subscription and paying more and more each year. For us, it's if you buy something of Major Tech, you should be able to have everything that's included with it. So that's from our side. And when it comes to it, it comes with the PC software. So I'll show you later on in the video how to do the PC software and show you differences and how to use it. And then when you've also got, it'll be hard on the computer here to do the phone software, but you do also have the phone software there. And then a big question, what we've brought importance to, which no one's actually thought of, is my last point on it is the image frequency. Why I say it's important is that it's a time saver. So while you're on the job and when you're used for inspection and an overview of thermal inspection, it follows the same speed as what your movement is. So in America, they use 9 hertz when it comes to your image frequency. This is due to terrorism. So if they were following a plane, they can't follow a plane because it's just while the plane's here, it's delayed over there and it's trying to catch up to it. So there's never, it's for that terrorism. Where we're lucky enough for South Africa, Australia, and that's we've got our thermal imaging cameras that are 25 hertz and 50 hertz. So obviously, the higher the hertz, the better the speed of the camera in terms of the frequency and its frame rate. So that's what you're talking about when the frequency is the frame rate. So while you're trying to view and go through a building, you'd like it to be 25 or 50 hertz so that there's no delay while you're walking. Did I miss it? And then you have to go back. So it's a time saver when it comes to that there.
Can I ask a question? Hey, when you say frequencies, it's what we call also the calibration. And when you're spanning across with the thermal imaging, that's the capture rate of that.
Yes, it's like your frame rate. So imagine a frame rate of a notebook when you're passing through it. Yeah, so that's exactly how the frame rate works with the frequency there. So yeah. And biggest thing before showing you guys some of our thermal images there is your applications where you're looking for. So in the points of your top 5 things to look out for on a thermal imager, as discussed now, you've got your building inspections. So a lot of people say, do I actually need a thermal imager? That's the biggest thing. But from being on ships myself, it's a handy tool, I have to admit. It's one of those that you don't think you need it, and when it starts solving problems for you, then you trust in it more and more. So the biggest thing is the outlay. Obviously, thermal imaging is pricey when it comes to even entry level up to your high end industrial ranges, but it's sometimes pays for it in its first job, either from time saving or when actually paying for the invoices for the jobs at hand. So when going through for your applications, your building inspections such as temperature variations for issues like proper insulation, if there's mold, if there's moisture related issues, water leaks, you've got structures like aging of structures such as the lifespan of concrete. So you can see your concrete or your metal or the lifespan of it. So if there is having to restore it or change out or fix it, you can actually see where there might be weak points in the structures there. Then you've got also your air leakages. So you've got assessing air filtration, you've got your air quality, your gas detection. Biggest thing with gas detection is your temperature differences there. So you can see if there is a gas leak for refrigeration or poisonous gases that are coming out of pipelines for your industrial there. And then you can also see your heating and cooling performances. And biggest thing is your preventative maintenance for your air quality. And then you've also got from your mechanical inspections, you've got your electrical, you've got your HVAC and your automarine and your automotive when going through there. It's just looking for potential fires. So with thermal imaging, it comes to it that if you are going to be using it for inspections, not only saving you time, but saving a lot of damage that can happen. So that whole preventative maintenance of stopping it before it's 6 months down the line and there's a fire or things have got worse, you're able to pinpoint it before that and saving on breakdown times and breakdown costs for companies. So that's why it's always promoting the thermal imaging as part of your inspections. And then, so the biggest question always is what thermal imager suits me, and what should I buy? And it's very hard to tell you what to buy because every case to case basis is different. So I can't tell you until I know what you're looking for. But when it comes to just put some points down of what thermal suits me is it. So firstly, you've got to consider pricing. That's the major of what you're looking to spend. Sometimes you might spend less, or sometimes you might have to spend more to what your application is there. Then you've got features. So if it's got auto versus manual focus, so I always say go for manual focus. It is the clarity of picture when it comes to you controlling the lens to actually get your focus points on is greatly or is better than your auto sometimes because your auto is trying to focus on it while your manual is you can pinpoint on the pinpoint accuracy on your camera there. So, and then also having it if it's a dual camera or not a dual camera when it has the ability to take thermal imaging as well as your normal vision camera like how you would on your phone. Then you got your resolution and sensitivity as discussed, your frequency and temperature. And yeah, then it's just finding the ins and outs of your business and what we can do to help you.
So for Major Tech, I know that you've got your pocket size to your handheld, which gives it quite a good range for different professionals. For us, is the building restoration inspection tools. So
Yes.
some of our inspectors like to use a pocket size, which is kind of like a phone size type of camera. And
Yeah.
then some of them, for me, I like a real solid handheld unit that has that really good, like you're saying, is hertz, which I'm learning a lot more about, is that frequency, that ability to quickly scan through the materials without wasting time for it to calibrate. And most of the equipments that I know that's available, thermal imaging cameras that are available in the market in Australia today are 9 hertz and or maximum to 25 hertz.
Yeah.
Would that be correct?
Correct, correct. And that's when you start getting into a more professional range when you're seeing that 50 hertz. And yeah, that's when you start seeing the pricing go up, as you can see there. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Oh,
um well, let me put forward some of the thermals and just a quick rundown as to our different thermals that we've got there.
yeah, yeah,
And if it's applicable to some of our guys.
sure. You can share your in the share button, in the green button down underneath. You can share your PowerPoints if you want.
Is that being shared?
No, not yet.
Oh,
My bad. Yep, cool. We're getting, yep, cool. Yes,
oh, there you go.
brilliant. Yeah, awesome.
So we've got our entry level MTR10. So this is a brand new one we've introduced. We actually get the stock in January 2025. Um, it's your preventative maintenance through and through. This is a quick, easy tool that you're looking for with your MTR10. It's got 96 by 96 pixels, but there again, for your indoor quality, what we were looking for and your finer points of temperature differences is it's got great thermal sensitivity. So if you look at it there, the thermal sensitivity is at 50. Normal good cameras will be at 100. So if you down from 100 down or 80 down, you're going good with your pinpoint accuracy with lower temperature differences on the thermal sensitivity. This one is not a dual camera, so it doesn't have the normal imager in it. It does also have your lower frequency, but at 25 hertz compared to our higher end. But with that, it's not at your 9 frequency, so you're not that time delayed when it comes to it. This one more used, which we've had, that's why the call for is our defense force there, because it doesn't have any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth capabilities. It's got your PC software with the SD cards. And this pricing is about $595 plus GST. So it's our entry level, as you can see from the pricing there. So if you want to start off with something, that would be your go-to. And then building it up from there, how many jobs you actually get from using a thermal imager. Then the one above it is our MTI 11. So it's having nearly double the pixels from the MTI 10. It's 160 by 120. It's even got your 50 when it comes to your thermal sensitivity there. So great for your indoor and preventative maintenance. Uh, it does actually have a dual camera built into it there. So you're able to have both pictures simultaneously taken at the same time. That one has the same frequency as the MTR10 of 25 hertz, and also again it uses PC software. So you'd be able to take the pictures once you're done with the job. You can download it to your computer with the PC software that's given off our website free of charge, and then you can start doing the reporting from there. But what's nice about it is when you start getting into the cameras that do the dual camera, you're not having to figure out what the hell did I just take a picture of, especially when you're looking at walls. I always say if you've got a camera that does both, a dual and normal vision camera, you're able to see what was I taking a picture of and reporting it that way.
Can I ask you on here, on your features, um, in the fourth one, it says 2.4 bright LCD display 240 times 320 pixels. Is that for your digital camera aspect of it?
So that's a great point there. So when it comes to those pixels there, a lot of people think that's my camera size, and
Yep.
you see it as, oh, for 600 or $595, I've got the best pixels by 240 by 320 pixels. But that's just your actual display. It's like having your display of my camera. My phone is 4K
Mm.
in pixels, but my camera's not 4K. So that's where it comes in. It's only got 200 megapixels compared to the phone itself on imagery is 4K and 8K of your vision there. So people
Mm.
definitely need to look into that. It's not just the pixels of your image or your screen, it's the pixels on the actual camera lens and camera itself.
I understand, because that's what you see mostly in sales, in the
Yeah,
misinformation of sales on most of the products that's available, I suppose.
exactly. That's I've had a few talks with people trying to figure out from that side and just say, listen, this is not right. It can't be right. Like pricing, all that, it can't be right. So, and then you have to investigate it, and it is a marketing tactic of people put it as this is how many pixels it has, but it actually doesn't.
Mm.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, no problem. So then from ending this for the MTI 11, as you can see from there. So it's more of your compact. These two MTI 10s and 11s are your compact range. So quick thermal imaging, checkovers, taking pictures here and there. Um, and this MTI 11 is about $1,295 when it comes to it. So it is extra, but you're getting the two cameras in one, and you'll be nearly your double pixels there.
For this one, is it just on your screen, or is it touch screen starting from, or is it the next range upwards? Do you have
It's
touch screen?
it's the next range up. You've got
Yep.
touchscreen going through there. Yeah. So the one we've got, so those are just out going through from our two entry level thermal images there. Then we're going into what Avi loves is our pocket thermal images.
Yes.
So it's our MTR3 and MTR5, the two we just brought out there. So the MTR3 is 160 by 120. It's got great sensitivity at 50 again, so half of what a normal camera would be, which is for your pinpoint accuracy. You've got lower image frequency of 25 hertz, so you've still got your hertz, but not at your 50 in terms of our more high-end industrial range there. Um, it uses Wi-Fi, so this is where one you can have 5, 10 guys on their phones while someone's doing the pictures up to 30 meters away from you, and you can have it real-time viewing. And with that, it's $795 plus GST. So
Yeah.
for compact, and I'm saying when it's tiny, it's probably just a bit bigger than a notepad when it comes to it. Just a bit bigger.
Brilliant.
So you've got that there. It's a little pocket rocket, as I like to say. So this one uses the buttons, and you can use buttons and also the Wi-Fi. When it comes to your MTI 5, it's got full touchscreen on it, so there's no buttons to it, full touchscreen. And with it, you can see the pixels are phenomenal on it. So
Yeah.
256 by 192 on your pixels there.
Much better.
Yeah, it's got that also where it's even lower thermal sensitivity at 40, so even greater detail there, and higher pixels. So that's where you can see the jump of MTR3 to MTR5. It's not just the features that are extra, but it's also got that jump of sensitivity and double the pixels. So you've got that there. What also makes it great is that it's also got your dual camera. So when it comes to your MTR3 and MTR5, they both are dual camera. And then with it there, it also has your Wi-Fi. So as you can see, our Wi-Fi app itself is Thermal X. Our Bluetooth side of the app side is Meter X. When you've got that there, Thermal and Imager and Meter X. It's all at the X at the end of it.
So this is really good, because one of the big things that I've been talking to a lot of restorers is that if you're on flood mode, you're on a flood mode, and you are, sorry, I think can you see me?
Yep, yep,
Yeah. If you're on flood mode and you need to take a lot of photos, you're text down the road taking photos, you can then pick it up from the office, you know, and send reports out through the Wi-Fi porthole. Would it be would that be what I'm thinking of also?
So when it comes to Wi-Fi, if
I
you have
didn't get
this,
that. Could you
if
try
you
again?
have this connected via Wi-Fi, this creates its own hotspot. Unfortunately, thermal imaging cameras don't have internet connection to them. So you would download everything to your phone, and then you can hotspot. You can then use any Wi-Fi device
And
and then sending it.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where you've got. So at least when you're out on site and there's no Wi-Fi, or like you say in flight mode, and you're trying to take pictures and all that, you can still have the thermal imaging working on your Wi-Fi. It's not like you have to have signal to be able to use the Wi-Fi device.
Yes, yes.
And as you can see there, so the MTR 3 was there $795, and then just with the extras there, it's the MTR 5 is $1,250 roughly there plus GST. Sorry guys, I always talk ex GST going there.
Fair enough.
So when you after our pocket thermal images, we've got the start of our more advanced thermal images. So we've introduced our upgraded version of our MTR 13, which you wouldn't be able to see on our page just yet. It is in our catalog that you can download off our website, our new catalog. But this one is being upgraded as we speak now. Ooh. So the MTR 13 is having the pixels of 256 by 192. So when talking about the pixels, there is 256. So on that, you've got just over 49,000 reference points if you talk about it on a thermal imager. That's when I was talking about the dots on a page, and you've got 49,000 different dots on a page to get when you click on that point where you want, it's giving you the accuracy of that pinpoint temperature that you want. And you can see with it, it's kept the same as the MTI 5 behind it there. You've got it at the same thermal sensitivity of 40. It's still got your dual camera. When it comes to it there, it's not touchscreen, so it's all button related. So you can in the future, with our high end, there's touchscreen and button. It depends how you use it, because if you're always wearing gloves, then you're never going to use a touchscreen. it's not going to be viable on that side. Then you've also got the image frequency on this MTR 13 is 25 hertz. It still uses your Wi-Fi. It's got on it also the data logging to it, so it does have a micro SD card. So if you didn't have any Wi-Fi on, you don't have your phone on you, you can still take pictures and just get it off the SD card later at home. And sometimes guys like it when you're sitting back at office to do the work, you're in air conditioning compared to being on the site trying to do a report. It's not sometimes fun doing that. And with it, you've got a larger screen size when it comes to it there. So your vision of view when using it is larger compared to your MTR 3s and 5s going there. So with that, the pricing is roughly $1,495 plus GST. So it's a bit more than the pocket one, but you can see by the size of it, and it's more of your handheld going into your more advanced range there. So we've got a few more of our high end now coming through. So these are our advanced, more your, I don't like to say the word professional, but it is where you're going out using this one as your go-to thermal imager when you start getting into the professional use of it every day in, day out kind of use. Not to say that if you don't use it day in, day out, you'd still want to get these top of the range ones here. So this one, as you can see, is 160 by 120. Lower pixels when it comes to the MTR 13, even by 10 points of the thermal sensitivity, but it's a bigger unit. So when I talk about it, you've got full touchscreen use of it. You've got the Wi-Fi as well as the button ranges on it there. But this is when you start seeing that this camera here has got a higher frequency of 50 hertz. So there's minimal to no image delays when coming to it. On the second part there, when it comes to our more professional range and high advanced range, is that it's manual focused lens. So I've got one here with me here. So when it comes to it, your manual focus is able to pinpoint. So on a normal camera, you'd have to see it where it's just take a picture and you're waiting for it to autofocus. On this, you're relying on yourself to autofocus. So if you're further away or super close up to a something that you need to take a picture, you can autofocus it to your distances there. And you can see from MTI 11 to MTI 15 the size difference when it comes to it.
For sure, you can also see the screen size.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you've got the screen sizes there and touchscreen versus not touchscreen, so that's where you're going through there.
I think a lot of I've come across a lot of cameras that I've used. It's only when I get into the, the 9,000 to 10,000 range do I actually get autofocus or the ability to have a lens that I can manipulate in.
Yes, so that's where you see it normally on, the 10,000 like this one here. It's normally has the only one where you've got manual, but
Yeah.
we've introduced it into just a smaller variety. So I think instead of 10 grand one, this one it's 3,825 going there. So you're not having to fork out $10,000 sometimes. You're not needing to,
Yeah.
but getting the same quality that you've got there. So, and also with the rechargeable batteries when it comes to it, so you can change it out for your rechargeable. When it comes to like your smaller range here, you would have to plug it in and charge it. When it comes to our more advanced ranges, you can have 5 batteries on the go. So if you're out in the bush or out somewhere where you can't get any power and you don't have time to charge it, you can get extra batteries that then you can pop in, slide it in, and you keep going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Then we go into our bigger range there of our MTR 60 and MTR 60 EX. So this is our top of the range thermal imager. With it is the MTR 65, the two there. So very similar in design. You've got our top of the range there. So you can see it's got 384 by 288 pixels. This one has got a thermal sensitivity of 80. So you can see this camera is more, you can use it your indoor going for accuracy, but you got more clarity versus your temperature differences required. So you're not trying to pinpoint of 1 degree, 2 degree here. You've got a large scale. If you're looking at a building from a distance here, you're wanting to see where you would pinpoint differences of moisture, differences of if gas leaks or anything like that. So that's where your bigger camera comes into effect there. It does have a dual camera with a 5 megapixel visual camera and a full touchscreen. So it's got the buttons and the thermal as discussed there, as well as it's got what makes it different is the laser distance pointer. So it's a laser distance that goes up to 30 meters away. So what I have mentioned before on thermal images is that it's your distance depends or gives you your best referencing in terms of taking a picture. If your ideal distance is 2 meters away from a picture or taking a picture from or of a component, say I was taking a picture of my phone, 2 meters away would be your perfect, depending on the sizing there. We say this because there's no thermal environments, how do you say it? Thermal influences, if you would say that, your thermal environmental influences. So if you're 5 meters, 10 meters away, you're going to get some deviations in temperature where, oh, it's showing that it's 5 degrees here and this is 10 degrees here. But if you're closer up, it's actually 5 degrees and 6 degrees. all depends on the outside influences, so that it's trying to take a picture. Remember, a thermal camera isn't to try to take of a whole building and try to pinpoint components. It's more of to find a fault or to find an issue that needs resolving. Then you've also got with our higher range here, with the MTR 60 and MTR 60EX, it's got your 50 megapixels, 50 hertz, sorry, 50 hertz there. And it is a manual focusing lens. It's got also your data logging as well as your Wi-Fi. And from it there, you can see the differences in the thermals here from your MTR 15 to your 60.
It's got a more chunkier hole to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, the sizing when you've got it there, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even when the back comes to battery size, you've got smaller versus bigger there.
Yeah. So the laser pointer that you're talking about, does that really also look at surface temperature also?
So the laser pointer, what do you mean by your surface temperature? Is
The laser pointer is more like a distant measuring. Yeah,
yes, yeah. So it's not your IR thermometer when it comes to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's your distance to get your most accuracy. So when you're doing the report, it tells you at a distance of 2 meters or wherever you are.
Yes.
So yeah, you've got your referencing there.
Mm.
So
I think I was just showing one of my clients previous to this call how to set up, and you can see in different cameras they've got the measuring distance, but really in all essence, a lot of the building technicians really don't really use that field quite a lot
mm,
because most of them actually don't understand a lot about thermal imaging camera
yeah,
to be able to use either the emissivity and or the temperature and or even the measurement the close and far that they
temperature.
are away from.
Yeah. Well, big thing is when it comes to it, yeah, when you're looking at it as your distances, and then as you said now, as your emissivity. If people don't know what emissivity is, it's your measuring of your reflective surfaces. So, what's nice about our more professional range on there is that we've got them set up, so guys don't have to be like, hey, what am I looking at? This temperature looks so much higher than what this temperature should be.
Yeah,
So like wood or your body would be at an emissivity different to wood or metal or stainless steel. And in these thermals, they've actually set them up. So making guys' lives easier on site where, oh, I'm looking at brass, click on that. I'm looking at wood, click on that. And then you're getting your accuracy or better accuracy when taking the pictures there. And then we got our biggest one, the MTR 65, which I think will be great for your construction industry. As you see on the picture of it there, it's looking at the cranes there. What makes the difference between the two there of the MTR 65 and 60 is that it's able to go to temperatures of 1,200 degrees. It's got a higher thermal sensitivity at 50. So compared to your 80, it's got more pinpoint accuracy on your temperature differences there. It's got same buttons. It's 50 hertz, so it's real-time tracking there. It's got the laser distance measurement there. It's what makes it different though is that as you can see there, it's got the lens. It's got a bigger lens, a wide-angled lens. So it's great for long distances. So I can see up to 100 meters away inside someone's window to be saying, "Hey, what's going on there?" and looking. So yeah, you can use it for different stuff, but more on the construction there.
yeah, understand.
So yeah,
And how much is this one? The MTR 65 would be
currently the same price as the MTR 60. So
mm,
we've kept it right now at the same price as the MTR 60, which is awesome. It's what it makes a difference is that it's for long distances. So if you're going to buy this to take a picture inside a room 5 meters away from you, it's not going to work. It's
yeah,
it's going to be all
no good.
blurry. It's going to look like one picture of a wall, and that's it because it's more zoomed in when it goes through.
Yeah.
happens there.
Hmm.
So yeah, making time there. If you wanted to see the how the app works and how to change up and looking at it that side there.
Would love to, please.
Okay, let me try stop sharing here. Let's see. What have I got there? What are you seeing there? Oh, Avi, what are you seeing?
So I see all the, I'm seeing Thermal View Pro.
Yep.
That's
So
the store. Is that your
that's our PC
cloud
software.
base? Yeah.
Yeah. So your cloud base on your PC there. So thermal imaging is obviously about being organized. So you can take 200 pictures, but if you don't organize them, you don't know where the hell it is. So I always organize it into different folders on different job sites, or if it's different rooms there. As you can see, I'm in this folder here, and you can just upload folders of your thermals once you've downloaded to your PC there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got pictures here. So say I have a look at this. Let's have a look here. So this picture was taken, these pictures were taken on the MTI 15. On here, you can see as I'm moving my mouse, you can see that it's changing temperatures. So this is where
Mm-hmm.
you can see your pixels as you talk in real time. That's how many
Yep.
pixels it's got there. You can see this as the MTI 15 does. It's got a dual vision as cameras, so you can say what you were looking at. So this is looking for moisture there. You can see, hey, well, there's your moisture there. Everything else is at 27 degrees and yet 24. So there's a bit of moisture going through at different points there. And what's nice about it is with these vision cameras that have the dual cameras, you're able to do a fusion picture, which you can see more clearly, which is more fusion to what you're looking at. So it helps you identify at the same time as looking for those temperature differences. You're looking at the real-time picture. So on this, I can always put points of differences there. So like I like to tell guys is that all you need to do is take a good picture, clarity and a well-defined picture on the site, and you can do the rest in an air-conditioned office. As easy as that. So here we're looking at different points there and giving references to your hotspots there, as well as what normal temperatures are there. So if I save that image, I go out of it, you can see, what's this one got to deal with? So this is just wall. So you can see where there's actually insulation behind it.
Yep.
And on that, you can see where
breakage.
Yeah, breakage there. You can see, hey, what the hell is going on there? And if there's any insulation, you can see the differences where there's insulation or not. On the same time, as I said before, is that if you just take a great picture, you can change your palette tones to rainbow, to the black and white to see if there was better moisture there, where you can see there's insulation to give you a better quality picture. So a lot of the iron palette is used for your temperature differences. Your rainbow is great for your air leaks or your gas leakages. Your black and white I always use for moisture when it comes to it, because it's just so much easier seeing condition in full black versus white, not looking at 20 different colors of the rainbow there. And then you can see where your emissivity is set at 95, which you can change on the app. So if you were wrong and you didn't have time to change emissivities and take into consideration your environmental temperatures, you can change all of this on the app itself. And then it changes your temperatures on the picture itself. So it's all user face friendly when it comes to that. Then if I had to save it, and when I put a report there, as easy as clicking report, I can upload an image of the job site. I can put my company logo. I can do all my company details, the report, the name of who did it. I can then, from the images there, I can add that image. All I have to do is at the bottom, click on that image, add it to it, and you can see. And you can see I didn't add too much detail to it. So if I go back to the one where I added a few details, you can see the while doing that, I've added a few points there. And from here, you can add and make the pictures bigger, smaller, how you want to set it up personally. And then when you save the report, you can send it to a fellow colleague. They can continue once they have if they have the app from our website there, they can continue to use the app and finish off the reports there. So it's not when you push save, it's done. You can't keep on editing.
Actually, that's really good because I know that another company you need to pay for this tool. You don't get this tool for free, which is really
Yes.
good.
Yeah, you have to pay a subscription. So imagine you have
Yeah.
yourself, other colleagues, you have to pay multiple subscriptions for different computers. And then so one person, if you don't want to be paying, I think it's also sometimes comes to like $300 a year.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know, yeah, what it is, like $300 a
Yeah.
year.
It's
And
about that.
if you have multiple users, then yeah, you're gonna have to fork up quite a bit. You have to pay for a thermal imager just to use the subscription and use the app. So, which is good. So you don't have to pay for it. You can just download it off our website and App Store and start
Mm,
having your colleagues use it at the same time as you.
fantastic. So as time's coming up close to the time, my only last question is how fast would it be for you to set up your camera to hotspot onto your phone?
It would be the same if you first time use. It would be the same as you going into someone new house, and you would then have to connect to their Wi-Fi. Same setup.
Yeah.
So it's quick
Cool.
and easy where you can go on your phone, Wi-Fi. You turn the Wi-Fi on the meter on through the setting, and then you can connect it. And once you've
Cool.
connected once, you turn on the Wi-Fi device there, and it instantly connects there.
Well, that's fantastic. I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's lots for people to really be able to go through the webinar,
Mm.
understand quite a few things that was really spoken about, pixels, hertz, and the differences of really looking at data sheets. I think one of the things that you've taught me in this video, Gary, is really how to look at data sheets. Because most of the time you look at data sheet, there's so much information. You're looking at it going, really, what is the difference? But now you've got me thinking when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the pixels, I'm looking at the camera, the camera, the
Features. Yeah.
picture size. I'm looking at the hertz. I'm looking how big the camera lens screen is, and then all those different information that's there actually relates to why I'm going to buy that camera, not just for the look, feel, and size of it. So I think it's really important, and people can run through this video and learn a little bit more about that, so that when they purchase a thermal imaging, they'll learn to really see why they would choose a particular thermal imaging camera and what
Mm.
they really need it for.
Yeah, exactly. And if wanting to speak to you or us at Major Tech, yeah, more than happy to answer questions. It's what we do best, eh?
Yeah. So bulk sorting is very, very happy to join force with Major Tech, and we are your building restoration distributors for the Major Tech brand. We will be doing more and more of these seminars with Gary. Hopefully, we'll
Yeah.
get different moisture meter and more importantly, some of the indoor air quality meters that we have. And we'd like to show some of our IEPs and our indoor air quality professionals out there some of the different technologies that Tech also has.
Oh, awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And we'll have this ready up on the YouTube so people can start looking at it and learn a lot more and reach out. Like I said, Gary said, reach out to Major Tech or reach out to BULCS Holding. Our information will be in this webinar. And I thank Gary. Thank you so much for your time today. It's quite an early start for you in
No,
Queensland.
thanks, Harvey. No, no problem at all. No problem at all. Well, yeah,
Okay.
you keep well.
Okay. Take care. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Avi.
much.
Cheers.
Bye.